It's great to be live on the YouTube channel, Kingdom Plus Running. Thank you so much for those of you who have subscribed on this channel and made it possible for going live. And my understanding is that once this video is made, it'll go to private, but we'll see how things develop. But it's such a special time. It's been 9 weeks since we started this journey that is focused on the bride making herself ready. Because truly we have reached the end times, and this is very important to share with his people, the ones called before the foundation of the world. And I want you to know that those people have been in every generation. Every generation. We hear about Abraham and his righteousness by faith. And you read the stories of the faith in Hebrews chapter 11. And we know that it's impossible to please God without faith. We know that Enoch was taken, I think he was 365 years old or something like that. His testimony was that he pleased God. So the Lord took him. Yeah. But wanted to share a little bit more on John Wesley. You can go back to Hap Greg on Facebook and catch the videos from this week on Wesley. But it's an interesting story because in that generation, there weren't that many. I think every generation, it's many that are called, but few are chosen. Being a church history guy, you read about all the different things, but you don't see that powerful witness of God's Spirit too often in church history. But one of those times was definitely in England in the 1700s, as the Lord brought John Wesley into the kingdom. He transferred him from the kingdom of darkness to the kingdom of light. Which is interesting, since his kingdom of darkness didn't look too dark. He was doing all the right kind of things. Reading the scriptures, spending time seeing how he was doing, giving to the poor, doing all the right kind of things, having communion on a regular basis, attending the worship services. But when he felt his heart strangely warmed, that's when things started to change. And he knew that what his dad had told him was correct. Jackie, always preach the importance of the witness of the Spirit. And so he started doing that. And there were those that received that message. And I think it's interesting that he reports when he asked around, because they didn't think there was too many people that had that direct witness of God's Spirit in their heart. The good Christian leaders. He said, no, it's a direct witness. It's not an indirect thing. It's not something where you're just a good person or trying to walk the walk. It's the power of God in you. So he could tell them that I suppose pretty much at the height of what the Lord had been doing with these sermons in the fields, since he wasn't welcome in the congregations at that point, that he supposed there was about 11 to 1,200 of those that he had talked to, because he formed them into societies. He said, I don't want you to leave where you're worshiping, but it is important to be a part of these societies and even classes for those that were more committed. And so he was able to methodically know those who had been baptized by Jesus, those who had received the Holy Spirit, those who had been transformed from the kingdom of darkness to the kingdom of light in 1 second. That's the power of the gospel. And so he said he knew of about 1,200 people that had been transformed like that. That is huge. That's why there was such a move of God's Spirit in England during his day. And this is what we're coming into now, I really believe. And so the importance of this message is to get this word out. You know, when Wesley was coming to the end of his journey, by the way, he was one that had a lot of money channeled through him, but when he died, he didn't have any. And but he said that he wasn't concerned about the Methodists, the people called Methodists, ceasing to exist. But what his concern was, the power of God. And so that's exactly what we see in the United Methodist Church that now has changed to the Global Methodist Church because it became too liberal. And of course, that global one is pretty much do this, don't do that. Can't you read the signs? All right, so we shall continue on Monday. Blessed be the name of the Lord. Shalom. Let's see, I'm not sure how to turn this off. This is my first time. Maybe we go like this. In stream, there it is.